So another week here, starting off with some strength work focused on deadlift. And as part of this, one of the things I'm trying to do with this program is allow myself to push the numbers on these strength training days. The program is really built off of a training max of 95%. So more sub-max work when you take a look at the actual percentages within the program, considering that it's already at 95%. And I really got this from the Wendler 531 program because I really like that aspect of it. But what I didn't like about 531 was on the plus days that I didn't feel it was really accurate. And instead of being able to push the numbers, you would just push the reps, and I would rather lift heavier weight and get my body more acclimated to that if I'm feeling good on a particular day. So what I've done is I've kind of given myself the working sets, or as many working sets as it takes instead, to work up to something that feels like a last set RPE of a certain number. So in this case, the prescribed work was at 207.5 kilos, but I ended up working up to 235. Could actually probably push the numbers here a little bit more, but the first training day is always a little bit difficult or a little misleading because after the main deadlift work, I do deficit deadlifts, and then my third exercise is some volume work on squats, in this case 375 pounds. So I try to kind of save some gas in the tank, and I think as the program wears on, I'll get more aggressive when it comes to some of the main strength numbers for the day. But this particular day for deadlift testing out, because I squat also, it's just kind of tough. And it's the first training day of the week, and I don't want to wear myself out. And that's really where the training max for me has come into play, and as well as working up to these last set RPEs, because if I'm feeling really good, I can push the numbers forward and feel like I've accomplished something. But on the other hand, if I'm not feeling really good and I'm beat up, or I'm traveling, or I'm sick, or whatever the case may be, I can just use that training max number. I know for sure that's kind of a safe baseline number for me to go off of, yet I'm not necessarily just straight tanking it. So that always feels good. From there, day 2, moved on to some bench work. On the bench work, you're not going to see a ton this week, or in most weeks, just because I'm trying to build in volume. This particular day, I just had a bunch of doubles at a very light weight. This is just to kind of work on technique and get things moving in a quicker fashion, so almost like a speed day, if you will. I know there hasn't been a lot of translation with that in the studies to show if that actually benefits you at heavier weights, but I just like to get that feeling, as well as just kind of work on my form and technique a little bit, and I just found that personally has been a benefit. From there, on the squat days, moved on to some more rep work. I really want to kind of try to build this up. Since I'm only squatting twice a week, in previous training cycles I would be doing 3 times per week, I want to try to up the overall volume. That's why I have that squat session after the deadlift day, and then whatever the prescribed squat work for the week is on day 3. In this case, lots of sets of 7 here at I think 187.5 kilos. That's just like 413 pounds. I've been really happy with how a lot of my form has been going on squats and deadlifts. I'm really playing around with some stuff on bench still. I'm actually experimenting more with just going with a flat back setup, because this is how I always trained for a long time. And my bench has kind of plateaued a little bit, and I've kind of tried everything under the sun. So I'm just going to try to not worry about setting up or getting the biggest arch. Instead, just getting as tight as possible in what feels as most comfortable as possible, and just kind of see how things go from there, because I got plenty of time and my bench isn't getting any worse necessarily. So hope everyone has a good weekend. We'll talk to you next time.